in the days since that report, have you been hearing reaction from parents, educators, others?
Oh, we have received literally hundreds and hundreds of responses from whistleblowers, parents, experts. It's so systemic. What we reported on Four Corners about issues in the sector, it's just being reinforced. Facebook is blowing up. It's just incredible. It
must be intense to be getting that sort of feedback, which I suspect is pointing to just how broad the issues are here.
Yeah, it really is, because we're still ploughing through them and they're still just pouring in.
Tell me about what happened in the New South Wales Parliament last night.
So Adele Boyd, who's really been at the forefront of pushing for transparency, managed to get the rest of the committee to agree to a parliamentary inquiry. And interestingly, the Labor Party agreed as well. They didn't push back on this.
And that's quite significant, isn't it? Particularly when you've got the governing party agreeing to an inquiry of this type when such issues and allegations that are so widespread have been raised.
That's right. So that's in New South Wales, and Adele Boyd mentioned that it shouldn't just be New South Wales, it should be other states.
I think it's really important that we deal with this at all levels. I want all states and territories to have inquiries, but I also call again on the Albanese government to set up a Royal Commission, because this is really similar to the aged care sector. We have vulnerable people, and then we've allowed these sort of profit seekers in, and we're seeing exploitation.
Adele Boyd there, the chair of that inquiry that's about to kick off. We understand that it will report likely in a year's time, but what do we know about what the inquiry will focus on? Yeah,
so it's going to look at workers and the sort of money that they're paid, fake certificates which seem to be going around, which is concerning. Some of them aren't qualified, and burnout. It'll also look at the quality of centres and just this increasing trend with for-profits and what that's actually meant to the quality and safety of children. So it will be all-encompassing, and it'll really target the regulator as well.
And your report really highlighted that this is an issue at the state and territory level, at the Commonwealth level, that there are issues right across the board. Have you got a sense of other jurisdictions and what they might be doing or at least thinking about?
Right now, I think they're trying to put their head in the sand and not go near it, because it is it's in crisis. The Prime Minister said we don't need a Royal Commission, they cost too much, which I found quite extraordinary given they spend $14 billion a year in childcare subsidies, and it's a federal it's called a CEQA, that sets the national law. So the government really is on the hook on this.
Yeah, and you touched there on the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, rejecting that call for a Royal Commission, pointing to the cost, but also the time required, that it takes a long time to do a Royal Commission. The National Children's Commissioner, Anne Hollands, has backed those points from the Prime Minister, but also said there are a number of reports that have been done, that there's a lot of material around some of the issues that were raised and that have been emerging. And the Commissioner adding that childcare really needs to be reprioritised. So in terms of the Prime Minister and the government, what has he had to say in addition to that comment about no Royal Commission? And is there pressure mounting on him and the government perhaps to change their minds?
I think they really do need to do something. The Productivity Commission came out in September looking at childcare, and it came up with a series of recommendations such as establish a childcare commission and also have an independent review into the national quality standards, which are ratings that are given to childcare centres, because at the moment 1 in 10 have never been rated, and the rest of them on average get rated every 4 years, so they're kind of meaningless.
And look, just finally, we know that we are about to head into an election, and childcare is a big issue for parents, families, no matter what part of the country you're in, and where, as you've identified, can be more difficult depending on where you are. So do we have a sense of where to from here, or what it might be the next steps around dealing with some of these issues?
I think it'll be interesting to see what happens in the federal budget next week. They'll be talking about how much it's going to cost for 3-day universal childcare, which is part of the election campaign for Labor, and what else they're going to do to try and fix the system.